Hey friends, it's Rachel here, and I want to tell you a weird story about money. It is late, it is dark, this is like a bedtime story, and just cuddle up with me and let this story wash over you. It might be a little weird, it might be a little out of your comfort zone, but it's something that's really helped me this week with money and with power. So, two things that us people right here are a little bit sketchy about sometimes. So, I really feel, after much deliberation, that the story, even though it might be very weird for you, would probably be beneficial for you to hear. So, here we go. I grew up knowing I'd have a lot of money someday, would never have to worry about money, everything would be great, felt super wealthy, super rich, and I didn't really grow up with a model for that. I watched lifestyles of the rich and famous, and that was about it. Like, there were no super rich people in my life. I was not rich by any means, though I was not poor either. I was pretty much in the middle. Um, and so that the fact that I always had that knowing inside of me was interesting. I had a lot of other knowings, but nothing really panned out right away. And still, in my business and in my life right now, I probably have more money than I've ever had ever. And and yet I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. I'm very comfortable, but I wouldn't say I mean, I don't have like a 401k or a retirement plan or anything, right? So it's not too different from how I grew up. I can buy clothes if I want. I can buy whatever food I want, and I can go on vacation, and that's about it. I'm not out there buying a house right now. And power is interesting because I have definitely suppressed my power a lot, for sure. And I've definitely suppressed my income generation, for sure, without a doubt. I definitely know how to make more money than I am making right now. And I've often wondered, why is it that even though I know how to make more money, and in a very easy way, a very non-sleazy way, why am I not doing that? Because there's definitely stuff I could do with the money. I mean, aside from giving part of it to charity, which I do anyway, I could travel more. I could have a yurt. I could have a better van. I could do lots of fun things. There's no lack of imagination about spending the money. And so having the awareness that I was definitely, you could call it sabotaging myself or making more, and definitely suppressing my power, definitely holding myself back. I've seen this for years now, years and years. Since I've had the knowledge to be able to go further, and I haven't. I wondered, why is it that I'm not progressing further? Why am I not making more money? Why have not I not paid off my student loans yet, right? Like, what is it? And I don't dwell on things very often because I find that does not do them any good. So I'll be aware, maybe I'll do some intuitive art about it, but if there's no clear answer, I will let it go because I'll realize it's just not time yet. So I've let this go for a really long time. And just this week, last week, one of the two, I got a lot of clarity. And the awareness has really come from judgments. So I don't know about you, but lately I have been seeing much more clearly all of my judgments, all the things that pop into my head at a stoplight, or when people are walking by me in the mall, or when I'm looking in the mirror, or when my partner's talking to me. All the tiny little judgments in my head are becoming much clearer, and I'm seeing them more often. Whereas before, they were still there, but I wasn't really acknowledging them. Now I can see them clearly. And something that is definitely coming up for me is, again, because I was definitely involved in this in the past, Monsanto and the very wealthy and the very corrupt and all this stuff, and this theme that's happening right now in my country where the president and his cabinet are being investigated for collusion and corruption in other ways and stuff. So the idea of mass greed and mass uncaringness for humanity is coming up. And even though I'm not very triggered by this anymore, I used to be. And the story of the Zetas is now in my view, and how I play into it and how money and power plays into that for me is very clear. And I feel this is my epiphany. So in order to understand this, I'll tell you about the Zetas. The Zetas are extraterrestrials, and they're ones that you're familiar with. So all of the movies from the 80s, well, most of them, with the like gray-green aliens with the big heads and the big black eyes, those are the Zetas. And they are our future cousins, let's say. They are on a different dimension. They are versions of humans, though, who chose the path of technology. And basically, those Zetas are the future versions of the greedy, wealthy people on the planet now. So the Monsanto people, the corrupt people, the Illuminati people, those people turned into, eventually, the Zetas that we all know and love right now. Okay, I am very much pulling a lot of Zeta energy. I have a lot of family in that star system. I communicate with that star system regularly. I go there a lot at night. I work there. I've got jobs there. I have had many lives there. And, since everything's simultaneous, I have lives there. And so they are very close to me. I am very much Zeta, as much as I am Pleiadian. And so I am very much one of these greedy Monsanto type people. And as much as that it pains me, because I'm all about organic, I love humanity, all this stuff, I am that too. That is me. And so anytime I judge the situation on Earth, I'm judging myself. And if I can see that I'm capable of doing that, of slowly torturing people with chemicals and, causing birth defects and, generations of people who can't procreate using their own bodies, because the Zetas have to clone themselves in order to procreate. If I am part of that, then I should not be in power, and money is bad, right? If money is allowing those people to do those things, if they're doing those things to get richer, then obviously money is bad, and I don't want to be that. And so I see this so clearly now, in that I'm associating their bad deeds with money and power. And so me, who wants to love and, heal the world, I don't want to be associated with that, so I have suppressed my ability to make money and to be powerful. And it's pretty interesting to know that it's like it takes that whole big interdimensional circle in order for me to realize this. And in seeing it, I think the day after or something, I realized this is when I came up with the Create New Income with Intuitive Art Challenge. And I think I wouldn't have gone to that place unless I felt like I had released some of this hold, some of this blind spot. And since then, I've felt much more comfortable being powerful and making new income. And it's made a very quick, energetic shift in my business, where now my business is more profitable in a effortless way. I haven't really done anything differently, and yet making more money already. Has been a week. So it's interesting how other, just how all this works, right? Like maybe you have a blind spot about power and money, and it comes from your aunt who was nasty and rich. I don't know. It may not be that you need the story of extraterrestrials who are distant future cousins who live on a different dimension, right? Maybe that's just my journey, but I wanted to tell you this story. Well, I didn't even want to tell you this story, honestly. My higher self wanted me to tell you this story. The Zetas wanted to share the story with you. And also, I guess, to wrap up, their point of view right now, through me at least right now in this moment, is that, we all agreed to play this game. There's no bad guy here. It may appear as though there's a bad guy, but if you're aware of the Bhagavad Gita and Arjuna's journey with having to kill his cousin, you'll really understand about this. I mean, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not a scholar of the Bhagavad Gita, but just Arjuna is faced with the decision to kill his cousin in a war. And basically, God is telling Arjuna that he signed up for war. This is what he signed up to do. And to be a good person, he's got to kill his cousin. But he doesn't want to. And he thinks that killing his cousin would be bad. And God's saying, no, you need to do this. And in the big overall picture, the cousin's not really going to die. The cousin's going to transition. It's not a big deal. And so it's just an outline of how this is a play. We don't really get hurt, but we sign up for things. And it's for the good of all. It's for the good of everybody. Right? So these bad guys in Monsanto, they're playing out a part that we asked them to play. And if they're still playing it, we're still asking them to play. We're still doing it because everything on the outside of us is a reflection of the inside. My internal judgments are allowing that to happen. My internal judgments are allowing that to happen. Your internal judgments are allowing that to happen. And as long as we all have internal judgments, that's going to happen. So our outside is just a reflection of our inside. Even me, you guys probably look at me like, oh, she's so zen, but I got stuff too. And so the Zetas are a beautiful species, right? So even though they are the future cousins of us in a different dimension, and they come from maybe not the nicest lineage of humanity, they're very beautiful species, right? They've definitely grown out of that phase. They've overcome that, and they're very misunderstood. And I think a lot of us can relate to feeling misunderstood. So, long story short, there is no bad guy. We need to take responsibility for our own judgments and see how they are affecting our ability to operate in the world. What are you suppressing? Are you being your most powerful self? Are you living to your capacity? Are you, are there things you want to do and you're capable of doing that aren't getting done? And not in a pushing way, but in a curious way. I want you to look at that and see what's happening for you. Because I know for me, I just got this big realization, and when I get these big epiphanies, you're all on board there. Like, what happens for me happens for you. Usually like 3 weeks later. That's normally how my timeline works. But the full moon is now, and so I wouldn't be surprised if something was going on for you epiphany-wise. So hope this helps. Hope hearing this story illuminates something for you, and thanks for watching. And if you guys like more of these like story time, intimate, in the dark things, just let me know and I'll do more. But on a note, I have some money resources for you right now. I know Roseanne is doing this freedom money thing, which is, Roseanne's amazing, so do anything that she's got. And you can also check out my Create New Income Using Intuitive Art challenge, which is a 5-day challenge, 10 minutes a day, super easy to do. All right, guys. Love you lots. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to intuitive art and you've never done it with me, go to intuitiveartacademy.com for your free class. You'll learn how to have a conversation with your higher self in 3 easy steps. That's intuitiveartacademy.com. And if you're already a pro or you've done the free class and you want to learn more about creating abundance from your purpose, go to workyourpurpose.com and you'll watch a free video series all about what it takes to create a purposeful income from doing what you love. All right, enjoy, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.